And good morning. Jake Thune Payne here with This is a Conversation, the Conversation Project, homed at, how's that? This is the conversation.com. Excuse me. This is another morning check-in. These morning check-ins have gone fairly well so far, so we're going to keep doing them, keep getting better at it. Hopefully you are enjoying what's happening. If you're watching it, then I'm assuming that you're actually digging what's going on. Let me know what I can do to make this more productive for you, what I can do to improve on any part of quality, sound quality, video quality, how things are looking. As you have seen, if you've gone through this thing, or if you don't know, this has been a piecemeal, day by day, work by work experiment to see how to be more engaging with my folks who are a part of the community at thisisaconversation.com, or the conversationalists, as I call y'all. So this is another way to try to reach out and not quite touch, but that's an old thing. Just reach out and get a hold of folks and see how things are going. Today is the 14th of November. Pardon me. Morning, Peter. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate what's going on. You doing this. And you, as a news director and a news guy, are a great person to hand me critiques and feedback on this whole project and how it's going. So feel free to drop a line. The computer is here, so that's why I'm turning a lot. Drop a line in the chat, or just drop a line email. Email me at the conversation inbox at gmail.com. Let me know how things are looking, working, going on. So I have a kind of early busy day today. So we're doing our best to, like I said, up the thing and make this thing a consistency thing. So fighting all that stuff. So let me quickly get into what's happened for the conversation, and it's happening for the next couple of days. Today is Thursday, of course. And so once again, we did release an email this morning with the newsletter for 8 things to talk about for Thursday, 14th of November. You can see that popping up in the screen if I press the button the right way. It's always a challenge. Make sure those things happen. And so some of the top stories for today, if you haven't been conversating with other folks, include the top story is the biggest story, I guess, other than the Trump impeachment, which we actually didn't get anything on, believe it or not, is Disney Plus surpassing 10 million subscribers on the first day. This was the second story we posted on the day on Disney Plus. The first story was the fact that as soon as they open up the doors, as these things happen, there were some crashes. So we just eliminated the lesser story for the newer story, and that's the number one story. Number two story, also very big. Colin Kaepernick is going to have a private workout session on Saturday. We believe 2 teams have committed to be there. There'll be a video feed of stuff so they can see that. Otherwise, some teams have also questioned why it's happening. Colin Kaepernick, of course, has not played, I believe, in since 16 or something like that. It's not played in a few years. Of course, the big issue is the kneeling on the field thing. That's been an issue, whether he's been officially blackballed, blacklisted, or just shown not be a good player. We'll see how this works out if anybody sees him. There's a lot of teams needing quarterbacks right now, and since he apparently has 2 legs and 2 arms, he is as qualified as pretty much a lot of people out there on the field. We'll see if that translates to something. And Nike also had an experiment where they took their shoes off of Amazon. They will no longer, as of pretty soon, officially be no longer use Amazon as a official seller for their materials. Also, a very sad story. I'll go this since it's sneaked into the feed. Massachusetts fire lieutenant dies as he saved two firefighters from a burning home a few days ago. You can go read those stories. Get the newsletter or go to thisisconversation.com and click the links and read the stories. There's a quick rundown summary of what's there to begin with, so you know what's going on as you take this. This is meant to be your water cooler start for the day. This is meant to get you going for your morning, for people who go into work, and so you're not just blindsided about what people are chatting about. This, for people who don't have a lot of time, you can pull this up on your phone, and before you go into work or before you get into the bullpen or other people, see what people from around the world, what people aggregated are chatting about. We're not talking about in front of me here is day 2 of the impeachment hearings, and CNN's on and Wolf Blitzer's going. There's not even a hearing today, and they're spending all day talking about this, which is what I talk about, the breaking news Chiron stuff that breaks all day long, that with no development. So that's what's going on my TV over here. That's what's probably going on in all the mainstream media parts. That's what you're getting bits and pieces of in your news cycle. This project, this email newsletter, and come tomorrow when we work on the podcast, is a true crowd fund sourcing of what's going on in the news, what people are actually talking about. So we'll see tomorrow or Saturday when everything gets done, what will be the top 10 stories going from last Friday, which was the 8th, to early morning tomorrow morning, which is the 15th. About 7.5-ish days, or not even that much time, basically 7 days and a couple hours for the morning part. And we'll, because trust me, sometimes some stories pop in at 2 in the morning that go bam and take over a newscast. So we'll talk about the top 10 stories. We're actually thinking about eliminating the 11 through 15 stories and trying to do some other things with it. We'd like to bring back the interview segment, but I've not had a chance to essentially schedule and nail down good interviews and good people to make it consistent to go break back the brackets game. That was the big part about this thing. Other than that, hopefully you're gonna have a great day dealing with whatever it is in the news cycle you have going on. If you're not understanding, if you're watching this, then I'm sure you have some idea what's happening. If you're watching this and not sure exactly how to be a part of this, well, it's very simple. What we do is we just put out a news story about every 50 minutes or so on social media, and you just have to interact with the story. Like it, love it, hate it, share it, whatever you want to do to interact with the story, just do that on Twitter and Facebook. Our Twitter feed is th_conversation. Our Facebook feed is, just look for This Is a Conversation. Also search for that on Instagram as well. Instagram's been a little lax lately. Schedule's been very crazy lately, but this is something that's been going on 3 years or so as a in this form, a 4.5-year project. It takes time for these things to come into its own, and right now we think we're coming to its own. And we're really looking for hitting that next step, and with that next step comes the NPR PBS pledge drive, where we ask you guys to help us out a bit. So check us out by simply check us out on the website, thisisconversation.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter so you can be a part of the conversation. Look for the podcast and search for This Is a Conversation, or go to the website and you can find links to get the podcast there as well. And of course, we need your help. So we're looking for, yes, funding, keeping this thing going. We have some great supporters on Patreon. You can check them out on the list as well and what they do. But you can be a part of that list by simply going to patreon.com/thisisAconversation, or oddly enough, thisisAconversation.com/Patreon, Patreon. You can also just do a quick donation by going to buymeacoffee.com/JClevelandPayne. It's a quick donation. It's essentially a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. I lost it in tea a second. A mug of beer, a sandwich, whatever. Just buy me a little something. It's a little quick thing. If you believe what you're getting from this is worth it, then help me out a little bit. The biggest thing you can actually do is just talk to me, chat it up. Email me at the conversation inbox. That's the conversation inbox @gmail.com, or chat with us inside of social media as well. Those are some of the best ways to get the best conversations going out there. Out of time, not quite out of mind. A lot of things going on to do in the way to keep the lights on here. You can help me keep the lights on with the conversation about being a Patreon sponsor, but definitely or you can check out our sponsors on our website as well. There's so many ways that you can help to contribute. It's just like we're like a real TV station begging for stuff. Thanks so much, you guys. Thanks so much, Peter Thiel, for being out there and keeping up what's going on. You, man, keep me going these days. We're just trying to keep up with you, actually. And I'm out for this one. We will probably do a very quick one tomorrow, because the full day in the morning is taken up with getting all the stuff ready for the podcast, and it takes about a couple hours to actually record, because there's a team, but it's only one guy doing the recording. That's the sad part. I don't have a full production team to work on it. I've got to record it, edit it, and get some stuff done so other folks can push the other pieces out. So we'll see how these recordings follow on with that. We will see. Well, we know there won't be an email tomorrow, so there's no email because we'll have the full 10 list coming out there. And we're going to tweak on the email we sent last week with the link to the podcast as well. This is all new and growing. Unfortunately, everything is real time, live fire. I wish I had more time to have practice and prep for things, but when the idea comes, sometimes you got to roll with it. Thank you for rolling with this idea. If you've been with me for a few weeks or maybe a few years of this, your hard work and effort into this is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. We'll chat with you probably tomorrow.